this example, f of x is the square root of x minus 2 divided by x minus 4. What does this function do as x approaches minus 4? So our first attempt, as always, is to attempt direct substitution. So the limit as x approaches 4 of f of x is the limit as x approaches 4 of square root x minus 2 over x minus 4. Direct substitution leaves me with a square root 4 minus 2 over a 4 minus 4. Square root 4 is equal to 2. I get a 0 over 0. The indeterminate form, the limit may or may not exist. Let's try to play around with it and see if we can get a real number out. Okay, so we're going to employ a trick called the multiplying by the conjugate, and we're really just going to multiply by 1. I'm just going to write 1 as a fraction, right? As long as I have the same thing over itself, right? A over A, then the A's cancel, and this whole thing is just equal to 1, right? So without changing anything, I'm going to multiply by 1. I'm just going to write 1 as the square root of x plus 2 over itself. Now, because we did that, let's simplify this. So for my denominator, x minus 4 times square root x plus 2, I'm just going to leave them right next to each other. I'm not actually going to multiply them. Well, I guess they are being multiplied, but I'm not going to do any distribution. My numerator, though, I am going to get some cancellation, so I do want to distribute. So when the square root x hits the square root x squared is x. When the square root x hits the plus 2, you have a plus, oops. Actually, I'll keep it in red. Plus 2 square root x. When the minus 2 hits the square root x, you have a minus 2 square root x. And when the minus 2 hits the plus 2, you have a minus 4. So the reason why we chose to multiply by the conjugate becomes apparent. Plus square root, or plus 2 square root x minus 2 square root x cancels, and you're just left with an x minus 4 in your numerator. And it's going to cancel with that x minus 4 factor in the denominator. Right. Once we cancel that, we're left with the limit as x approaches 4 of 1 over square root x plus 2. And now we have no problem with direct substitution. So when x goes to 4, you get 1 over square root 4 plus 2. Square root of 4 is equal to 2. 2 over 2 is equal to 4, 1/4. Right, that y value right there is 0.25.